Welcome to the Health, Safety, Security, and Quality Visitor Induction of DP World Paramaribo. This presentation highlights important aspects of the work. It is therefore also mandatory that you follow this visitor induction personally. To ensure that everyone can go home safely after work, safety rules and procedures have been established. The information you get in this presentation will help us understand how we can always have a safe working environment and what your role is in maintaining this safe working environment. At DP World Paramaribo, we are committed to safety. We support this by developing activities that allow us to protect our employees, customers, and others against any type of incident that could have a negative impact. Our goal is to create a working environment without serious injuries and fatalities. Within DP World, safety is priority number 1. The minimum PPE you need to enter the terminal are safety helmet, safety vest, and safety shoes. Depending on the work to be performed, you may need even more PPE. For example, a harness or earmuffs. The commitments we live by is about life-saving decisions within the control of employees and others in our workplaces. It emphasizes personal responsibility and defines safe behavior. The commitments are there to help you recognize when you are in a situation where you need to stop and think what safety precautions you should take before continuing to work. The commitments we live by provide simple and practical instructions that you can follow every day to reduce critical risks with known hazards in our organization. They are also intended to draw attention to the activities or actions most likely to result in serious injury or death. They are based on our approach to caring for our people. Focus on the personal decisions we all have control over to protect ourselves, our colleagues, and anyone who visits our workplaces from serious injury or death. Fundamentals. I will commit to lead by example every day. Take the time to identify hazards and ensure risk control measures are in place. Stop unsafe work and report unsafe acts and conditions. Pay attention to my own safety and that of everyone in my workplace. Sign up fit at work. Use personal electronic devices only in designated areas. Always put on my PPE and make sure it is kept in good condition. Pedestrian protection. I will make sure I can always be seen and always keep me separate from the machines. Not enter the no-walk zones unless authorized and controlled. Examples: no walk zones. The container stacks. You can't walk there. The key and the CFS area, the area where stripping and stuffing takes place, are restricted areas. That means you can't just walk there. If you must be in these areas, this must be done under the supervision of a DP World employee. I will use only designated walkways and will not take shortcuts. Stay alert at all times and avoid distractions in operational areas. Mobile equipment. I will drive the way you should and won't exceed the speed limits. Always watch out for pedestrians. Be alert and avoid distractions while driving. Always put my seatbelt on. Not let the equipment idle unmanned. Always follow the traffic rules. Handling loads. I will never place myself or parts of my body in crush zones. Not walk under or stand near a suspended load. Identify who the person in charge is and follow that person's instructions. Always keep a safe distance. Not leave handling loads unattended. Check that the load is stable, well secured, and free of loose objects. Working at heights. I will clear myself from possible falls from height. Secure tools and equipment to avoid falling. Barricade the drop zone, the area under which work is being done. Use fall prevention and protection as required. Energy isolation. I will verify and confirm that hazardous energy sources are isolated, interlocked, and labeled. Check the installation and controls before starting work. Only place and remove my personal lock and tag. Stay away from isolated areas. There's a security policy within DP World Paramaribo. This policy is based on the ISO 28000-2007 standard. Requests for access and passage must be submitted at least 2 days in advance. No pass, no access. Maximum permitted speed, 20 kilometers per hour. Always put on your seatbelt. Cell phone use is prohibited if you are the driver and are in operational areas. In the event of an emergency, follow the emergency response officer's instructions. A group of people have been trained within the organization, the company emergency response officers, who will act in the event of an emergency. In case of an emergency, follow these instructions. Pay attention to your own safety. Notify the supervisor. Call the internal emergency number 1013 or 897-0022. Then warn your colleagues and follow instructions from the emergency response officer. Go to the muster point. You can recognize the emergency response personnel by the white cross on their helmets, and in the event of an emergency, the emergency response staff will put on a red safety vest. Now save the emergency number for reporting incidents in your own mobile phone. 897-0022. Emergency situations. Stay alert for possible emergency situations. Stay aware of hazards. In case of emergency, keep calm. Inform your guide in case of emergency. Go to the muster point under the guidance of your guide. Safety rules. Taking pictures or video recordings is prohibited. The use of mobile phones and other entertainment devices in operational areas is prohibited. Safe zones. Examples: behind the concrete barriers, in the office, on the toilet. Permission is required for the performance of work in prohibited areas. You may only walk on the designated walkways. Alertness required in case of machine alarm. Walking under hanging loads is prohibited. Never cross behind equipment. Follow instructions from your supervisor. Use of drugs and alcohol is prohibited. Report leaks immediately. Immediately report near misses to your supervisor. Place waste in the appropriate bins. It is forbidden to be under the influence of alcohol and/or drugs when working, to smoke in the work areas and in the equipment. Do not bring alcohol and/or drugs to work. Do not consume alcohol and/or drugs during work on the work floor. Always inform your supervisor or guide if you use medicine that may influence your response. Thank you for your attention. For questions or comments, please contact the HSSEQ department. Email hsseqpar@dpworld.com. Phone 402890. Let's stay safe together.